Am I the asshole for refusing that my parents have a birthday celebration for my daughter? Me, 36F, and my husband, 38M, have a daughter who will shortly turn 4. She usually stays once a week at my parents' place. She is very close to them and they like having her around. They are always very, too, willing to watch her and demand to spend time with her weekly whenever possible. We found an agreement that she would sleep at their place once a week, which I have to admit is also nice for us as it gives us some alone time. However, I have to stress out that the primary reason is that my parents want to spend time with her and it's never an issue for us to do differently. This year the evening she's scheduled to spend with them is on the eve of her birthday. We have planned a big party for her the day after, with all her friends and also grandparents invited. I have asked my parents to refrain from celebrating early with her, as me and my husband would like to be with her when she blows her candles. My parents strongly disagree. They plan to go out for dinner with her and have a cake at the restaurant. I'm not comfortable with that and I said she won't go sleep with them if they can't do as we, the parents, ask. They've called us controlling and say we are hogging our daughter, that she can have a life outside of us. Am I the asshole? I'm not going to post a judgment here. But it sounds like the issue to me is that you're concerned your parents are acting more like parents to your child than grandparents. It certainly sounds like some boundaries are being blurred. Are you concerned that your parents are treating your child like their own? That they are not respecting your authority as her parents? I don't think that the cake and dinner is the hill to die on, but it does sound like a discussion needs to be had about defining their roles in your daughter's life and what everyone's expectations are with these relationships moving forward. Not the asshole. Anyone who demanded anything regarding my child would not be in control ever, much less once a week. Demand time? You aren't getting any. This is my child. I decide who, where, what, etc. I'm the parent, my word is law. You either respect me and what I say regarding my child or you don't see her. Your parents are behaving like they are still top of the food chain and you are a child, who had a do-over baby for them. Time to end this arrangement. They've called us controlling. Embrace that. Yep, 'cause it's my kid, not your do-over. You don't get a vote on any of it. Say we are hogging our daughter. I can't hog my own daughter. She's our kid. Quit acting entitled. She can have a life outside of us. Sure, on our terms, 'cause she's our kid. Within reason. Info. If their birthday celebration was after the one you had planned, would you have as much of an issue with it? Is the issue that they want to host a birthday celebration for her, or that they are getting to do it first? I see no reason a kid can't have multiple birthday celebrations, even if some of the people overlap. Not the asshole. This is a perfectly reasonable boundary. Also, she's 4. Yes, she can have a life outside of her parents, but as parents you absolutely get to control who she spends time with, and how much. I wouldn't trust them not to celebrate early. Cancel the sleepover for that week. She is 4. So she blows candles out on a cake that is not one done by you? You're having the party. She will enjoy that much more. Your parents, hogging your daughter? They do know she is your child, right? There is no hogging by one's child's own parents. Your child, your rules. I assume the grandparents are invited to the party as well. Seems no respects anyone in this family. I don't see the harm personally. She has all of these people that love and support her. She is still your daughter. You are the asshole for being controlling over an extra birthday celebration. You are still having her party. Am I the asshole for refusing to give my family free culinary services for a party? I, 22M, am a trained chef and recently graduated from a course in culinary school. It was a bit expensive, and my aunt and mom contributed to help me pay the fee there. Relevant later, ever since I finished and started to use my skills to earn some cash, my family has been treating me as some personal chef, which I didn't mind at all at first. It started small, helping out at small family gatherings, giving tips on recipes. But now it seems I'm actually expected to be doing real loads of work for free. Last week, my aunt asked me to cater my cousin's engagement party, which she invited 50+ people, which was wild as she just approached me while casually saying other professional chefs are too expensive for her. When I said I couldn't do it for free, she acted shocked and said, "We are family, and you wouldn't have this opportunity if I didn't invest in your skills?" So, she went and spread the word around on how I refused to help her, and some uncles and cousins are telling me how I'm sort of greedy and I should use the opportunity to repay the favor she did me. I told them I love cooking, but it's my job now, and I can't work for free. Now they're calling me selfish altogether. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole, but pay back your mom and aunt what they contributed ASAP, as they viewed it as an investment that they would receive perpetual dividends on. Turn it into a loan you repaid in full to cut that off. If you leave it, they'll hold it over your head forever. Not the asshole. Just because she helped pay for your training doesn't make you her personal servant. If she was hoping to gain something out of her charity, then it is not really charity. Not the asshole. She's asking you for product, time, and labor. She should be paying you. Even if it wasn't a standard rate, she should have offered to pay you. Not that you have to, but if you want to smooth things over, I'd agree to make the dessert and a batch cocktail. So long as she supplies everything or reimburses you for any ingredients you bought. Not the asshole. It's called friends and family discount, not friends and family free. Not the asshole. Your family is not being fair here. If you pay for someone's schooling, it's either A, gift, no repayment is expected, or B, a loan, repayment is expected, and this was made clear to the person borrowing. What it's definitely not is a right to free services from that person whenever they demand it. Not the asshole, bro. Family loves to pull that, but we helped you get here, card like they're shareholders in your career. If they wanted a return on investment, they should have drawn up a contract, not a guilt trip. You're a trained chef, not their free meal ticket. Cooking for 50+ people is a full-on catering gig, not just whipping up some burgers at a barbecue. Imagine spending your whole day sweating over the stove, all for a thanks, and maybe a soggy paper plate of leftovers. Nah, man, you gotta set boundaries before they have you catering weddings and reunions for clout. Am I the asshole for refusing to attend any Super Bowl parties? I'm fully prepared to be named the problem here, but I'm just curious. I am a massive Eagles fan. I'm talking tattoo, bleed green, cried when they lost the last Super Bowl fan. My fiancé has always said he loved this about me, because he enjoys that I love the sport too, and we have fun rivaling each other when our teams play. He's a Niners fan. However, he knows that I am not fun to watch games with. It's just a reality. I'm loud, I scream every play, and I'm a typical Eagles fan with the trash mouth. Again, he has always found this amusing, but insists we should watch at home to avoid public scenes, fine by me. This all changed yesterday when he said we were going to his family's house to watch the Super Bowl. Ordinarily we do go watch with family, however, it's because my team isn't playing. I assumed since my team is in this year, that we would stay home for all of the reasons I just mentioned. When I said I was probably going to stay home because I don't want to make everyone feel uncomfortable, he got irritated and said that I should just rein it in. He insists that I should go, because it would be weird for me not to show up because everyone is excited to watch with me. The thing is, I know I'm not fun when my team plays. I'm usually very fun, sociable, and enjoy spending time with his family. But I swear if one person tries to distract me during this game, I'll snap, and that's not going to change overnight. And the annoying truth is that both my family and his treat me differently when I'm watching football than him. For some reason, the men are left completely alone during the game so they don't miss a second. But I'm always approached to have conversations, or help with a kid, or help with food. And I'm not going to be nice about that this time. Fiancé is now upset and says I'm being selfish because I'm not willing to spend time with him during the game. So, am I the asshole for wanting to stay home alone to watch my team in the Super Bowl? While I think sports fans like this are categorically insane and need to address their social skills, you're absolutely right that nobody stops men from doing it. And if his family reinforces that it won't be fun for anyone, as long as you're not kicking through the TV or shooting guns into the air above a crowd, not the asshole because you're at least self-aware enough to know it's not fun to be around. Again, something plenty of male sports fans don't bother to acknowledge. Nah girl, not the asshole. Uber Eats yourself something special and tell the refs to suck it as much as you want. The best part of staying home is getting to do all that in your PJs with no nephews and nieces yanking on your arm the whole time. It's your special day. Treat yourself. Am I the asshole for wanting to stay home alone to watch my team in the Super Bowl? Everyone is entitled to watch sport how they want to. He knows that I am not fun to watch games with. He knew it and blew through it. The men are left completely alone during the game so they don't miss a second. But I'm always approached to have conversations, or help with a kid, or help with food. Well, that's just a shitty attitude in general, and even worse when you're invested in the game. Not the asshole. I mean, I agree with the responses saying, grow up, because I get loving a sport and a team, OSU football here. But emotional regulation and self-control are 100% things adults should learn and practice. But regardless to how you behave cheering on your team, if you don't want to go to a party, you don't have to go to a party. The reason is kind of irrelevant. You want to be focused on the game, not engaging in small talk. That's fair, even if you aren't acting like a lunatic. It's also obviously not the most fun to watch such a huge game with a bunch of people that aren't fans of the same team as you. I'd rather stay home, or go to a bar and cheer with a bunch of strangers that are cheering for the same team I am. So I'll land on not the asshole. Not the asshole. If I'm you, I'm not going. I'd also be sitting the fiancé down for a long talk about respecting you and your feelings. Telling someone who is clearly as passionate as you to rein it in is just ridiculous. I can see why you wouldn't want the future in-law's first experience to be a game this important. Maybe they can watch a preseason game or an early regular season game to dip in a toe, To see if they can handle full eagles? You? Not the asshole. I'd probably tell him that you'll go if he really wants, but you're going to be your game day self, which will probably involve a lot of yelling, bad language, no small talk, and you don't care whether or not his family likes it. And if they lose, you're probably going to lose your shit. Then he can decide if he wants to unleash the beast. Am I the asshole for telling my grandma not to sell an expensive setup for so cheap, even if it's family? Okay, so 19 male was speaking to my grandma recently when she mentioned she was selling her computer and the entire setup to my cousin. Out of curiosity I asked how much she was selling it for and she said $150. I was confused because it was an expensive setup. The monitor alone was $600, not counting the wireless keyboard and mouse and high-quality microphone. I asked why she was selling it so cheap as it was still in beautiful condition and worked great. There's no reason to sell for only $150 and she should look into how expensive the setup actually was and how much it's worth. Well, she took my advice and is now selling it for $450. My cousin and other family members are angry with me because she should apparently sell it for so cheap because he's family. Personally, I don't think I did anything wrong and I feel I would be an awful grandson if I let my grandma get scammed like that. But apparently I am, driven by greed. Not the asshole. Your response needs to be that your cousin should be ashamed of himself for taking advantage of his grandmother. Remind your family members that the cost of grandma replacing her expensive system will come out of their inheritances. Might give them a better frame of reference when hassling you. Not the asshole, they're trying to take advantage of your grandma. I wouldn't be shocked if they end up fighting over the house or the car or who gets what when she passes away. You didn't convince her not to sell cheap to family, you revealed to her the true value of her computer. There's nothing wrong with her being generous to family, but it's not right if it's not an informed decision. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, they want to take advantage of your grandma. Not the asshole. You were just trying to help your grandma get a fair price for her items. It's not about greed, it's about making sure she isn't taken advantage of. Just because it's family doesn't mean she should sell something valuable for way less than it's worth. I would have done the same thing. I would watch out for possible future elder abuse from family members. You stood up for a vulnerable person and she won't forget that you helped her.